Hello, everyone, and welcome to another day of. Let me move my microphone. To another day of chess streaming. We're gonna be looking at the yellow card match between England and Colombia. As far as I understand, Colombia has the lead in yellow cards, but Lingard doing his best to catch up with the Colombians. A special hello to everyone in the chat really early on, including Mr. Klausine. We have Nils, Vertvich, Foldminator, Henning, Dejan, and Ghetto Porridge, Tweeches, and Yokal. How is everyone doing? Maxpus Klausine seems to think that football's coming home. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but England is not going to win the. Oh, actually, that I didn't think that was going to happen. I'm not allowed to do that. Um, yeah. Um, I still don't think that England is going to win the World Cup. But on the other hand, they're playing for a semi-final. No, quarterfinal. They're playing for a semi-final against Sweden. So I'm guessing that could have been more difficult. And then Croatia in a semi-final could go either way. But it's definitely their best chance in many years. Banned, says B Muffle. Yeah, no, that was not my intention. I'm actually kind of scared now that the big bad wolf is gonna come strike the hammer down on me, copyright infringement and everything. Yeah, so what's going on? Vertrich is blundering a pawn. That sounds very normal. I blunder pawns for a living. Dejan believes in Belgium. Yeah, I believed in Belgium as well. Yesterday I was saying that Belgium was going to win the whole thing. Uh, I and then well, in particular Brazil in the quarterfinals. But I don't believe that anymore. I mean, they almost got knocked out by Japan. I don't think they have a chance to beat Brazil with that level of play. Not Title Tuesday now, asks Henning. Title Tuesday is starting in 25 minutes. So I'm gonna watch the soccer game with you, and then we're gonna play some chess. You have nice arms, says Jokel. Okay, thank you, I guess. Where's the Hawaii shirt? Asks Foldminator. I got more. I got more. I'll get you a more colorful more colorful shirt tomorrow. Oh, and that's a nice through ball to Sterling, and it's a corner kick for England. Congratulations with third place, Hammer, says Ibrahim. I don't know what you're talking about. I finished second in the arena yesterday, and I finished second um, in the speed chess qualifier. So yeah, I'm actually a bit disappointed. I really thought I was gonna beat Andrew. He was not at his best yesterday, but even then, I didn't stand a chance. Well, on the other hand, I mean, I was winning in the final decisive game and just blew it. So that's also part of why I'm annoyed about yesterday's result. But we gotta move on. Life goes on, and today is the Title Tuesday. So that's going to be a new challenge, one which I rarely do particularly well because it's so strong. But let's see what happens. Okay, so England got a free kick on the Colombian half. Kane trips on his own legs, falls to the ground, and gets a free kick. And as far as I know, when you trip on your own legs, you're not supposed to get a free kick. So here's a freebie for England. 30 yards out. They're filling up the box with red-shirted players. It's a cross towards Kane. He lifts his foot and is actually pretty close to connecting with the ball, even though it was so high. Oh, never mind. He's way offside. And the linesman had his flag up, indicating as such. The time controls for Title Tuesday is 3+2, which is considerably different than many online Blitz players are used to. Yeah, that is true. So it's very difficult to flag people in 3+2. But for me, that can be a problem because if I get a bad position against a weaker player, normally the strategy is just staying alive and hoping to win on time. But for the Title Tuesday, you actually have to play good chess, and that's pretty tricky. Foldminator asks, what are the prices for today's Title Tuesday? Honestly, I don't actually know. I just think it's a very nice occasion to get some strong opponents and have a nice stream. And I know that there is a prize for the best stream. I don't know how that is judged, but there is a streamer prize. So, if anything, that is my main goal for prizes. Ooh, there's a cross into the English 16-yard box, but a good header cleared that away. Colombia keeps possession. So I guess for the final 15 minutes of the soccer game, it's going to be mostly Colombia trying to break through the English defense, and then England grabbing a counterattack if possible. And they do have one of the greatest counterattacking players on the bench. Maybe we're going to get to see Jamie Vardy in for Kane. Ooh, and Lingard falls down in the Colombian 16-yard box, and that is definitely simulation from the Englishman. I mean, I think it may have been a penalty, but he decided to fall to the ground like half a second after the tackle. He was so clearly looking for the penalty there. And whenever people do that, I don't mind when it's not given. Who will win the World Cup, asks Ibrahim, and he thinks Russia. I don't think Russia is going to win. I think, no, it's really tricky because teams have not really played to their top level so far. I guess in terms of rest and play and stuff like that, I guess I'm going to say France. But on the other hand, the French defense hasn't been astonishing either. So I feel like no team has really been massively impressive. And therefore, it's just such a tough question. Fawad is in the chat. Hi, Mr. Hammer, he says. And Snatchpado is in as well. And Snatchpado with the sub. Thank you. What time is it there? I mean, it's got to be in the middle of the night. maybe you're not supposed to call people out on stuff like that, but if you're Australian, it's pretty late. Dayon has to say that the French defense is great. Yeah, no, I kind of set myself up for that one. There are people who really like the French defense, Georg Mayer being one of them. So, if anything, if Georg's interpretation of the French is correct, then they're definitely gonna win the World Cup. 5:41 a.m. That is actually unhealthy. I mean, I've done it myself yesterday, but still unhealthy. Buddy, you're like 4 minutes behind. No, I think I'm 2 minutes behind, but I'll refresh. I'll refresh my browser just to check. I'm on 79:45. I think normally I'm like 1 minute, 1 minute 15 behind. Yeah, so I'm 1 minute behind. Oh, Snatch has gotten up early instead of not being up late. Yeah, no, that I wouldn't know anything about. Getting up at 5:40 a.m. That no, that is different level. That I don't know anything about. I mean, clearly you're not a good chess player. No strong chess player has ever gotten up at 5:40 a.m. in their entire lives. That's just, I don't know, correlation. Probable causation due to the heavy correlation. Shots fired, that's true. Oh, and Colombia with the break. Colombia with the break. 3 against 3. Cuadrado. Ooh, a massive chance for Colombia. Cuadrado. I don't know how to pronounce Spanish names. Cuadrado with the big opportunity. And what reckless defending from England, letting Colombia just snatch that ball from the English defenders on the on the halfway line. Wow. It's a poor shot over the target from Cuadrado. Okay, I mean, as far as I've understood, England, I've been watching on and off for the entire game. And as far as I could tell, England had things reasonably under control. But that was a big, big opportunity for Colombia. Ooh, and here comes Lingard. And he should get a corner kick. No, he doesn't get a corner kick. Yeah, that felt like a yeah, I think Lingard should have had the corner kick there. And we also got a replay of the earlier incident where Lingard should not get a penalty, nor did he get one. Actually, as a matter of fact, I agree with some people on Twitter that I saw. I don't think Kane should have gotten the penalty that got the England the 1-0 lead. I think he gets the penalty because he's out of balance. I think, I mean, he gets a penalty because he falls over, and he wouldn't have fallen over if he hadn't been out of balance. And being out of balance is kind of, well, balancing your body is kind of one of the main tasks of the players. So I don't think you should be rewarded for losing your balance. I'm here for the football commentary, says Fire. Yeah, that's right. Everyone is. We're gonna start the title Tuesday as immediately after this game is over, and if the game goes to overtime, then let's just say I don't have high hopes for my tournament participation. I think I'm gonna be concentrating more on the soccer than the chess. And here comes Colombia. Colombia with the ball, it peters out into nothing. I may have invited people to watch football commentary, says Chespe. Did you just reveal something about yourself, Chespe? Are you calling it football commentary? It's soccer commentary to you. Or, yeah, all Americans call it soccer, right? Anyway, Colombia with the throw in, way into the English half. They're just playing around. England with every single guy behind the ball. There's a cross. England heads it out. Colombia fetches the ball. Another cross. And this time it's a Colombian touching the ball for the header. But it just flies through the entire. Oh, and another cross. Colombia is really going for the strategy of crosses. This time, Falcao wins a header inside the 16-yard box, but he is unable to get the header on target. Although actually, there Henderson is crouching down. And should you be giving a free kick to Colombia or penalty? The thing is that things that happen on the field, the same rules don't apply within the penalty area. So had Jordan Henderson crouched like that when another guy is jumping up for a header, then he would have gotten a free kick against him. Now, I don't agree with that rule. I think it's a silly rule because what are you supposed to do when there's a 200-pound guy jumping on your back? But there is a rule that it's considered dangerous play crouching down because you might injure your opponent. On the other hand, your opponent should have considered that he may get injured if he's jumping way up into the air and supporting himself on an opponent. Um, so yeah. Anyway, that was a long digression. Colombia has the ball inside England's half. Falcao with the shot, but it's just way too loose. Way too loose a shot. And Pickford has no problem picking it up. Colombia with the ball, as they have had for a very long time. Now there's a substitution. Vardy is coming on. I already actually said this. Maybe we'll get to see Vardy. But for some reason, they're taking out, interesting, they're taking out Sterling instead of Kane. So England wants to have the aerial firepower that is Harry Kane, and instead they're taking off Sterling. So I guess they're substituting one good counterplay, counter. What do you call that? Counter? Fast counter, fast break. One good fast break player for another, getting some rested legs. And also Vardy, I think, can actually win headers. He's not the tallest guy, but I think he's a brave guy getting into fighting with headers, even though he's not the favorite to win. And now people have discovered that my emotes don't work in dark mode. Yeah, that was a miscalculation. Of course, to me, I would never have dark mode on anything. But, that's just me. It's gotta be depressing just looking at black stuff all the time. I don't get it. Halvar, with the input in the chat, says that Vardy is a pretty good penalty taker as well, if it were to go to extra time. Wow! Harry Kane gets pushed by the Colombian player. The referee sees it and still gives a free kick against Harry Kane. That made absolutely no sense to me. I mean, the Colombian guy is clearly with both hands just pushing Kane away, and somehow the ref decided that's um, Colombia's ball. Actually, the referee is American, and he has done a very poor job today, as far as I can understand my Twitter feed. And also, I didn't think he was impressive earlier in the championship. So Mr. Mark Geiger, I would guess this is his final assignment of the World Cup. 5 minutes of added time. 5 minutes of added time. And we just started counting that. So that means 5 more minutes until England makes the quarterfinal of the World Cup. They're pretty used to getting to the quarterfinal. They're not used to getting through from the quarterfinal. So actually, if anything, if stats is something to go by, Sweden eliminating England in a quarterfinal, that would be a clear sign that England is not able to get through to the semifinal in a championship. England, there's some English guy lying on the floor or the grass being in pain, and he has successfully deducted 1 minute of extra time. So just by lying on the grass, there's now just 4 minutes left. So a very good strategy there from the English player. And one of soccer's main problems that you can just, ooh, I hurt, I'm in pain. Let's just, let the time run out. This has always been Hammer aspiring to be a soccer announcer, says Aquila. Yeah, that is definitely true. I think I would do a very good job. And I would not accept any nonsense. I would be like, oh, bad behavior, let's give a yellow card. Oh, what a shot! Out of the blue, Colombia gets a shot from more than 30 yards out on the half volley, and it almost goes straight into the top corner. Pickford with a pretty good save. He had to be alert there. It seemed like there was no danger whatsoever, and suddenly he had to make a very acrobatic save. Corner for Colombia. It's into the... Oh, and it's a goal! It's a goal! Goal for Colombia! And it's the center back from Barcelona, Yerry Mina. He scores in his third straight game. Third straight game. Oh my gosh. Colombia has equalized in overtime. I am going to do very poorly in this titled Tuesday tournament. I'm just gonna have one eye on the chessboard and one eye on the soccer. Yerry Mina wins the header to equalize the game. Ooh, and it's a good header down into the ground. And actually, some questions about Trippier. Trippier has had a fantastic championship, but Trippier is actually guarding the back post. and the ball comes pretty straight at him. And the fact that Yeremina headed it down to the ground and then it started bouncing back up, Trippier miscalculated how the ball would bounce and didn't manage to block the shot, even though he was in an excellent position to do so. 3 goals in 3 matches for the Colombian central defender. That is incredible stats. Wow. Wow. I'm feeling pretty good about not following the chat because I think there may have been some spoilers there for me. Oh my gosh, what an equalizer. And probably we're going to have some extra time added to the extra time. There's now 1 minute left. Well, actually, there's 10 seconds left, but I guess the referee is going to allow play to continue for 1 more minute. England with the ball. Walker over to Maguire. England just passing inside their own half. It seems like with this equalizer, they're going to have a break, go into the dressing room, and readjust to these new circumstances. Trippier, feeling like he has something to avenge, seemed like he wanted to get the ball going really quickly, but his teammates wasn't really following him on that. And now there's some kind of flipper play with the ball going back and forth, back and forth. Maguire gets it under control, but loses it with a pass. And here comes Colombia. Is that going to be a yellow card for Ashley Jones? I think Ashley Jones is going to get a yellow card in that situation once the ball is kicked out of play. Well, of course he's not, because referees believe that you're not supposed to give out yellow cards for some silly reason. Okay, so this is going to extra time. I'm going to move it over here because actually the Title Tuesday tournament is starting right now. I mean, it's starting this very instant. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm in. Yes, I'm in. I'm seated 43rd among all the Title Tuesday participants. 43rd, so it's just an incredibly strong tournament. And then there's the deal with the soccer happening at the same time. This is going to be tricky. Okay, tournament starts now, I thought. Okay, 1 more minute until the tournament starts. I didn't do my warm-up games, but sometimes that has worked out pretty much in my favor. So I'm not too concerned. Krzysztof Zuzurek from Poland. He looks like a very, very young kid, judging from his profile picture. I'm going to play pretty quickly, partially because I want to get the game over with as soon as possible so that I can revert my attention to the soccer. England always loses on penalties, says Ibrahim. Yeah, no, they do have a tendency of doing that, don't they? That might be a problem for them today. Christoph seems to want to play knight g5, and honestly, I'm just encouraging him. But if he was gonna do it, he really should have done it immediately. Yeah, because now he plays g5, and this makes no sense to me. It feels like he's mixing up two different plans. I'm actually gonna play h3 to prevent g4 followed by knight g5. And now I feel like this knight on h7 is just out of play. Let's take this guy. I'm kind of assuming that if he goes e4, I can capture it and trap his queen. But it's not like I see exactly how that's gonna happen. There's some kind of crazy line with e4 takes, queen takes, and then knight h4, he can go queen takes e3. That would be pretty sick, to say the least. Okay, I'm gonna go knight h2. Now this looks like a weird move, but at least I'm opening this diagonal, and I'm hoping I'm threatening takes on e5, with the idea that if knight takes, then queen takes d6. It should be good for me, but okay, I'm just gonna go for it. On the other hand, letting his knight get into play, you would think I could be more accurate somehow. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play knight e4, and then on the next move I'm taking this one. And by playing knight e4 first, a move that I was probably gonna have to do at some point anyhow, by doing it first, then I get to play another move with him struggling to untangle his queenside pieces. Yes, I'm taking this one. Then this one. And then maybe go for the queen trade. Yeah, no, I feel like I should be basically winning. But okay. Queen a5, b6, I can just take on b6. Because his rook is hanging. And queen a5 threatens bishop c5, which is annoying for him. Yeah, so this is, I was calculating this line, and then I didn't see bishop takes b6 initially. But once I saw it, I realized that this is a good idea, and the variation seems good. Okay, am I gonna give up my queen? It's probably good, but at the same time, taking this pawn on c6 is just 2 pawns up. So for simplicity, I should, it's better to be 2 pawns up than having some kind of imbalance with one guy having the queen and the other guy having 2 rooks. Okay, they have started the overtime, extra time. Colombia with the ball on the counter attack. But he lost it while I had to make a chess move. That's what happens. Okay, if I can just get this knight to e5, I'm going to be very safe and comfortable. If bishop d4, I might even consider knight takes h6. Actually, knight takes h6 followed by... I can be fancy and take this one. But there's no points for being fancy. Keep it simple, stupid. That is the recommended approach. Threatening knight f7. I could have played queen takes g5, which was clever, but at the same time I felt like I should just play some easy moves. Now I do have knight d7. Okay, I'm not going to be able to tempt myself out of playing that move, so I might as well go for it. Winning the rook, but also eliminating a piece close to the black king. Guess we're gonna insert this check. See what happens. Okay, I feel like I got this under control. With the increments, there's pretty much no way of messing this up. I could blunder my rook and still like my chances. And my Polish opponent, Krzysztof, resigns, which means I can turn my attention back to the soccer. Colombia with the throw-in close to England's penalty area. They're going to try a long throw from Cuadrado. And they're doing a long throw with, I think actually there were 8 English players inside their own box, whereas Colombia only had 2 guys. I'm really not sure why they're throwing the ball into a cluster of English players. And they were nowhere near creating a goal-scoring opportunity from that. But here comes Colombia again along the left flank. The cross and almost connected. Carlos Baca, almost connecting with the low cross. Yeah, it's going to be very tough games today, Vertrich. It's a very strong field in the Title Tuesday tournaments. So this Title Tuesday is being organized once a month, the first Tuesday of every month, and it is the go-to tournament for online chess. At least it's the go-to tournament that's being held regularly. And, well, I think my illustration of that would be that I am seeded as number 43, and I'm a pretty strong player. So that's the best way I can think of to illustrate that this is just such a strong tournament. But actually, I'm pretty happy with this game. I think I executed this well, and I got myself a good advantage, and then converted it pretty smoothly. So if I can keep this up, then, maybe. Oh, the ball is in the net! What is happening? The referee is waving his hands. The goal is inside. The ball is inside the goal. Okay, so there's a throw in from England. And the guy is not paying attention. Why does England have the ball? There was not a full replay of that situation. Why did the referee decide to... There was one English defender who wasn't paying attention, and the referee just let him off the hook. That was very generous by the American referee to the English defender, who was just asleep on the job. And the replay didn't tell the full story, so I don't actually understand what happened. Okay, Colombia with the ball deep inside their own half. Cuadrado, the winger with the ball, but he's also inside his own half. There comes the long ball towards Baca. But he's surrounded by English players. There's no way he's going to manage to create something without more help from his teammates. I understand that there was a second ball involved, but it was, I mean, at the point when the throw in was taken, the other ball was off the pitch. So as long as there's just one ball involved, one ball in play, you should just keep playing. And the referee, to me, it seemed like he made the wrong call there, pardoning the English player for his unattentiveness. Alec is on fire today, says Aquila. That's good news for me. Maybe I'll do some Fortnite after my stream today. How many more minutes on the match clock? It's 5 minutes 20 seconds more of the first period of extra time. But the way both teams are playing, I mean, this has to go to penalties, right? Neither team seems too interested in attacking, and both teams have a lot of guys in defense. So it's a combination of both teams having a lot of guys in defense and both teams being very careful about pushing too aggressively with their goal scoring players. I'm actually surprised that the next game hasn't started. Let's take a look. Ooh, it's a knight and rook versus a rook. That should be a draw. Genghis Khan trying to win with the extra knight. But I don't think he's going to be able to do that. Maybe, actually. He's close. He's very close. And Genghis Khan wins on time. Wow. I'm not sure what the threat was. So probably he needed to go rook f6, and then maybe he was scared of king c5. I don't know. What we do know is that the rook and knight managed to defeat the lone rook, and the next game is has started. And I'm playing Kimster, probably born in 1998. So let's assume that he's a 20-year-old Hungarian kid. Maybe we can make a short draw with the Nakamura opening. I cannot remember what you're supposed to play in this opening, but it feels like we're playing something moderately normal. Okay, I'm gonna play King H8 to confuse my opponent, if nothing else. It does seem like my opponent is confused, thinking for a very long time on this move. And he goes G4, very aggressive. I don't really understand what's going on. I guess I'm gonna take this one. I'm not sure whether I need to be concerned about my isolated pawn in the center when he has weakened his king position. So that's a difficult assessment to make. I think I'm going to take with the H pawn. Maybe go F6. I don't know. Maybe this allows me to go F5 at some moment. Because I want to punish him for weakening his king. I'm not sure what the best way of doing that is. Yeah, so my guy is just trying to exchange himself down into something where he can attack my pawn. And I would kind of like to punish that. You know what? I'm going to play F5. It might be overly aggressive. Probably is. But if he plays G5, then I play F4. And then I'm definitely better, I think, having some attacking chances. So that means he has to kind of stay put with the pawn on G4. Probably he should play King G2. And then, you know, then I have some pressure on the king side, maybe get the rook to E4. I can live with that. Feels like I'm the one playing the attacking moves. "20-year-olds are adults, by the way," says Vertrich. No. Anyone born in 1998, I will never consider adult. Never, ever. Okay, so he attacks my pawn. My pawn structure, honestly, my pawn structure is not great. I'm going to be the first to admit that. Pawn structure, not the strongest feature of this position. I don't know what to do. You know what? I'm going to play so calm. You know, I'm just going to defend my pawns. And then see what the guy does next. Bagsipan with the joke. A German, a Spaniard, and a Portuguese walks into a bar. The Swede couldn't make it because he's still in the World Cup. That's pretty good, I think. My problem is I have no idea what to do next. I'm gonna try this g5 move. Although I'm not really a fan. Yeah, because now all my pawns are just ready to be taken along the g file. Yeah, we're gonna get ourselves in a bit of a time scramble situation right here. And I'm probably worse because my pawns are just all over the place. But on the other hand, if I can create some attacking chances, that's going to be pretty good for me. Let's go here. I'm so tempted to sacrifice something, but I don't feel like it's not going to work. Maybe this move? It's tricky, if nothing else. Ah, that was a mistake. Yeah, I just let him play King E2. Huh. Yeah, he's kind of getting out of my threats. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad, bad, bad. I should not have traded those queens. That was very silly of me. Oh, this is just bad. Bad play. Bad hammer. Ah, that's just horrible. Ah, terrible game. Yeah. Okay, let's watch the soccer instead. I gave myself too many pawn weaknesses. Too many pawn weaknesses, and when the time ran out, yeah. I wouldn't say I choked. I was still trying to make a breakthrough, but it just I couldn't get through. He protected the first ranks pretty well, and then I just couldn't figure out how to increase the attack. I was way up on time, but I couldn't figure out how to increase the attack. I gave away a pawn, and then it kind of yeah, I couldn't find how to follow up. Okay, back to the soccer. Big chances for England, someone says in the chat. And just when that is being said, I see Colombia with the ball. The goalkeeper has the ball. The goalkeeper falls over. The goal is open. Vardy, inside the penalty area, gets the shot off, but it's well blocked by a Colombian defender. No spoilers in chat. My feed is 1 minute behind. So you're not allowed to say anything that happens unless you wait 1 minute. Let's see. Colombian throw-in on the halfway line. Doesn't feel very special. Let's look at some chess. This doesn't feel very special either. Looks like a pretty straightforward draw. And once again, it's Genghis Khan, the guy playing on in an equal ending. But this time, unlike the last game, he's not gonna get the win. Okay, and people are saying goal in my chat, and I am getting the timeout thingy ready. If there's a goal now in the next half a minute, people are getting timed out. I mean, just as I was saying I was going to strike down on Pickford, England is playing small passes way inside their own half, but they kind of got loose. The long ball towards Vardy. No, Colombia, Yeremina wins the ball. Now Colombia defenders have the ball. Colombia passing it around before a very strange Claire, yeah, I don't know. And Vardy is trying to fight his way through 3 Colombian defenders, is unsuccessful. I don't think there's a goal. I don't think my delay is this bad. England with the ball. England falling to the ground as if nothing happened. Well, as if something happened, but nothing did. Walker in pain. Walker may have to step off the pitch. Colombia now on the ball, throws it away. No, actually, Cuadrado manages to catch that ball. Don't football and chess, says Darku. Yeah, you may have a point there. But I don't create the World Cup schedule, unfortunately. Okay, Walker is gonna walk it off. Well, that's actually, once again, very funny from Baksipan. You're on fire today, man. 2 jokes in a row. Hits right at home. Colombia on the counter break, but it's thwarted. Ooh, and there another Englishman goes to ground, but he gets the Henderson does get the throw in that case. Okay, we're playing some kind of, I don't know what we're playing, but I am going to beat Florian Schwabenbeneder. That's the most Austrian name I have ever heard. He's going down. Let's play rookie 1, just defending things. Ooh! Big chance for England! Who was that? Who is that guy? Is it Rose? Danny Rose, very close to hitting that inside the goal posts, but it curls, just about curls away, and Colombia can be very relieved with that. Okay, I'm gonna try to play Rook Knight H2 to G4. Oh, and Walker actually is not able to walk it off. Walker is being substituted, and in comes Rashford. That's a very aggressive substitution from England. England now has 3 strikers in their team. Is this preparation for the penalty kicks, or is it just trying to get the final goal before the penalty shootout? I'm not really sure. So Kane, Vardy, and Rashford all on the pitch. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should play g5 next when he goes queen d7. Still not sure. Yeah, okay. Lingard. There's a long ball from England up to I'm not sure who, and Colombia clears it for a corner kick. Yeah, I'm not better. I thought I was better at some point, but I am now definitely sure that I am not better. I'm hoping to place my knight on d5, but he's going to have ways of defending against that. So corner kick for England, swinging the corner in. Ooh, that's a free header for Henderson, maybe? I'm not sure. But it's off target. Okay, this is interesting. When I play knight d5 now, he's probably intending to take it and then maneuver his knight to d4. That's pretty clever. Okay, but he doesn't do it. I'm not sure that's clever. I don't know. How to assess this, I'm really not sure. I guess now it's a race who gets to play b4 first. He's going to play bishop g4. And honestly, I'm intending to take this one, but I regret it. Yeah, I'm not too happy with my plan against bishop g4. So I guess I'm going to play f4 instead, giving myself the opportunity to meet bishop g4 with king f2. Okay, I feel like I made definite progress here. For starters, I'm threatening just to take this knight. Am I going to play b3? I don't know. Ooh, and there's a chance for Falcao. And Falcao should have gotten a corner kick there. But from his reaction, it seems like he did not get that corner kick. The header from Dyer thwarted the Colombian attack as well as getting away with it without conceding a corner. I'm really not sure what to do next. I feel like I should have reacted differently to the stuff that was going on over on the queen side. You know what? I'm just going to take this knight. I don't know why I'm delaying it. Well, actually now maybe I can do knight f4. Maybe this one can be annoying. Maybe I can get some threats to the king. And now I got a bishop pair for free. Let's go back here. because now the dark squared bishop is not doing the good defending it was earlier. Yeah, I'm gonna win this now. Ooh, I completely blundered that one. Okay, that's actually really, really poor. Blundering that guy. Okay, I'm gonna have to concentrate. And there's stuff going on in the game. I feel like that was very good technique. I think that was pretty good technique. 1 more minute of the extra time in Colombia against England. 1 more minute until the penalty shootout, and historically, England has a pretty poor record in penalty shootouts. Also, they do not have Kasper Schmeichel as their goalkeeper. Trippier. Was that Trippier with the mistake losing the ball? Now fighting to win it back? Unsuccessfully, because the referee is handing the throw in to Colombia. And now there's a replay of a cross situation in which Ospina is doing a very good effort getting to the ball, and then by accident stumbling into Harry Maguire. And Maguire there showing that he's basically a concrete roadblock for Ospina. I mean, Ospina just walked into Maguire and fell to the ground because that was a lot of muscles on the English defender. Okay, 40 more seconds of the added time. Cross from Cuadrado. Colombia with the ball on the side of England's penalty area, trying to get the cross in. But then he just falls to the ground for no good reason. The referee sees straight through that, awards no free kick, and it's a goal kick for Pickford. And this is actually going to go to penalty shootout. A dramatic ending to this game where Colombia scored the equalizer in overtime to get the extra time. Wow. Okay, it's going to be a penalty shootout, and I am now going to be incredibly strict in chat about spoilers. If you spoil a goal, I am timing you out for the rest of the week. Do not spoil the goals in chat. I am on a stream. I'm not watching this on TV signals, and I am 1 minute behind the rest of you. So that's a strict spoiler warning. Time someone as an example. Well, I'll time one just to show you that I'm able to do it. Magic Andy says Colombia just scored. So then it's timeout Magic Andy, and I know how to do it. And thank you to Malcolix with the Twitch Prime 2-month resub. Thank you. See, I know how to work the mod hammer. No spoilers. Although, yeah, a lot of Andy's comments got deleted, not just the one where he pretended to spoil. But at least now you're all warned. There's one game still going on. Wow, 110 moves and a very unusual, um, very unusual material on the board. I mean, it's definitely going to be a draw. But now white just blundered his pawn. Ah, but he's just removing the black pawn as well. I know he was trolling. That's why I only timed him out for 10 seconds. Okay, Falcao, the Colombian captain, is having some conversation with his coach. Colombian players are wishing their goalkeeper good luck. The same applies for the English keeper, the English players with Pickford. How are we playing this? Ooh, I'm gonna be so clever. That's not okay. I thought maybe I can force a draw here, which, under the circumstances, probably a decent idea. Ooh, I forgot to play h3. Is that a big problem? That I forgot to play h3. Honestly, I'm not sure. Let me try this move. It's kind of weird, but am I supposed to play h3? I don't even know. This is actually a pretty interesting line. I considered playing this with black not too long ago. If I go crazy now, I play g4. Can I do that? How crazy would that be? g4? Okay, I'm gonna try it. What's the worst that could happen? Worst thing, I lose the game. It's not the end of the world. Also, worst thing, I mean, he can just play e6. Why did I play this move? That's such a stupid move. That was just very silly. Okay, I guess for the rest of the game, I'm gonna have to stare down this bishop. Okay, they seem to be getting ready for the penalties. The first penalty is for Colombia. Falcao walking up to the to the ball. It's science has shown that having the first penalty kick is an advantage in a penalty shootout. But on the other hand, in the previous penalties, the team that had the second penalty has won both times. So Falcao first out against Pickford. Pickford is jumping around trying to make himself look big, but the goal is even bigger. Falcao just hammers it into the net. A good penalty there from Falcao. What am I doing? I'm going to try taking back with this one. Okay, next up, Harry Kane. Ooh, I did not see that reply from him. I'm just dead. Yeah, I'm just dead lost. Shouldn't have played g4. That was a silly, silly, silly move. Should not have played g4. Okay, I can pretty much just resign. Harry Kane scores, and I didn't see how. Because I was busy doing chess. Ooh, he just puts it into the corner. Very good penalty there from Harry Kane. Okay, this just got complicated. And that is not perfect timing because I want to have an eye on the soccer. I guess he's going to play queen takes f4. Ooh, and Cuadrado scores as well. I have missed every single penalty so far. I really should have forced a draw in the opening. Okay, next up is... I feel like queen takes f4 would have been very clever. Probably this is good as well. My queen is very close to getting trapped. Ooh, actually queen f4 here is a very strong move. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure who the penalty taker was, but he scored a goal for England. Queen and country. Yeah, I'm just dead lost. f6 and then just king d6. Okay, I'm still fighting. But at this moment, I need to... Ooh, that's a very cool and collected penalty. But I'm getting low on time, and I actually do have a fighting chance here in this game. Queen takes f2 is a check, but it's not the end of the world. Maybe bishop b4 was stronger. Wow, he just goes for the rook. That feels very greedy to me. That feels greedy. Okay, my king is going to go on a little adventure. Ah, I messed it up. Ah, yeah. Ooh, and it's a miss! Henderson! Henderson gets his penalty saved, and England is going to be knocked out once again in a penalty shootout. And my plan here was to go king a4. And then I thought suddenly that this was checkmate. But if bishop b6, then I can just take this rook. So actually, my plan, which was king a4, might have been brilliant. At the very least, it would have kept me in the game. Wow, Pickford! Pickford with the save. Another penalty save. Actually thinking about it after... Oh, no, it's not a save. The Colombian player puts it into the crossbar. Actually, knight b6 takes. Maybe this is checkmate. But then I have... but then this. Yeah. You would think that with my king on a4, I'm deservedly getting checkmated. Okay, next penalty is Trippier. Trippier with the penalty. Oh, and he just puts it in the top corner. That's a very, very good penalty from Trippier. Now the pressure is on Colombia. No, wait. That was the equalizer, maybe. Okay, the fifth penalty. Both teams have scored 3 and missed 1. The fifth penalty from Baca. The Sevilla striker, or previously at least. Are you just gonna shoot this into the back of the net? No! It's a save! It's a save! Pickford makes the save, and England is en route to win a penalty shootout. Is this their year? Are they going to win this world championship? If they start winning penalty shootouts, then that might just happen. The decisive penalty is Eric Dyer. Dyer with the final penalty. Can he shoot England into the quarterfinals? He's taking a long time. The referee blows his whistle. Dyer puts it in the corner, and England is through to the quarterfinals. And massive celebrations with the captain Kane assaulting Pickford in a fit of joy. Okay, but that kind of cost me a game because this game was so bad. This game was so bad. And I missed many penalties while losing this horrible, horrible game. But c'est la vie. Halvar with the stats. This is the first time they have won a penalty shootout in a World Cup. Really? That is amazing. Maybe this is their year. I mean, they have not been massively impressive, but honestly, none of the teams have. Actually, I forget how slow Title Tuesday is. I always kind of assume that they're going to manage to have 10 rounds in a pretty small amount of time. But no, it's really dragging out. This is only the fourth game, and it's already been a full hour. Ooh, the blunder! Rook a5, the massive blunder. Wow, let's look at that again. Black does a great job securing himself a draw in this position. And then trying to protect his pawn, he actually enters the one line in that position that is not a draw. Sweden in the quarterfinals should not be impossible for them, says Ahmed. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Sweden has been very impressive, to be honest. Okay, someone has been studying their Caro-Kann openings, and honestly, I have not. So I'm a bit concerned about this because it's very complicated. I feel like I'm supposed to go c5 and then take this one. And then what's next? I don't really know. Take another pawn. I guess I should develop. Yeah, it's coming back to me. The theory in this line. It's coming back to me. But I really should not be playing this kind of complicated variation in a blitz game. So often you're just going to lose because your opponent is better prepared. Congratulations to all England fans. Through to the quarterfinal. Oh, and this is kind of late, but there was a bunch of people hosting me. I really should thank them for hosting. On my screen, I have Braden Laughlin, but I think there were some other people as well. But a very late shout out to Braden. Maybe I shouldn't have taken this one. If I can just get my king to safety, I should be fine. But on the other hand, getting my king to safety is no easy task here. Okay, I mean, there is a chance that this move just loses instantly. So maybe I shouldn't play it. But on the other hand, what else is there? Okay, let me just play this. Rook b1, I'm kind of scared of. That's also a pretty decent move. Oh, actually, knight c4 followed by bishop d2 was just winning. Yeah, my guy kind of lost. Yeah, he had several ways to win there, I think. And he wasn't playing decisively enough. He didn't realize when the right moment to strike was. And the right moment to strike was before I managed to play rook d8, getting some protection along these d-files squares. When's Brazil against Belgium? Does anyone know? Asks Jumping Jackson. I don't actually know when Brazil against Belgium is, but I do know that the first quarterfinal is going to be on Friday. Oh, there's just so many bad things. I just discovered that he has knight c4. That's going to hurt. If I survive this game, it's going to be a bit of a miracle. Mr. Hammer in focus for once, it says D6464. Yeah, no, I switched my webcam because I was being a bit stubborn about it. Because I mean, I bought a brand new webcam for streaming and paid a decent amount of money for it. And Microsoft, who had made the webcam, chose not to update the drivers for Microsoft 10, which is just unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, look at that move. That's up there. Wow. That's pretty strong. Yeah, that was pretty sick. He didn't really know when to strike, but when he came through in a big way. That was spectacular. Oh, that was pretty close. That was even closer. I'm being very slow right now. I'm still a little bit better. Maybe not winning, but definitely better. Actually close to winning. Actually winning. Okay. This should be good enough, right? I'm gonna say yes. Although, I mean, there is a chance that I'm having trouble getting my pawns forward. Maybe. King h5, maybe? Hmm. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to make progress, although that was pretty helpful for me. That was very helpful in getting my king active. You're being very kind right now, placing your king away from my pawns and letting my king assist my pawns. That was generous. Yeah, and I think with an extra queen, I'm gonna be able to win. I survived. That was a very close call. Um, I'm pretty sure I was dead in the opening at some point. Uh, and then also queen takes e6. Wow, that's a very cool move. With the point knight c4, threatening both rook takes d8 checkmate as well as the queen. I could have taken and taken back, but I still would have had the problem with the checkmate on d8 and the knight threatening my queen. So I was very fortunate to have this defense queen d4, blocking the rook from taking on d8 and getting a piece for my queen. Because I was in a situation where it wasn't even certain that I would manage to get a piece in exchange for the queen. So just getting this was a success for me. And here I'm not sure how much material I am up, but honestly, maybe with correct play, it would have just been a draw. Yeah, I actually maybe rook c1 and it's still pretty dangerous for me because I'm having some trouble getting my pieces out. Hammer, do you have standings for this tournament? Asks Ryataman. No, I do not. And I'm not sure how to get it for you either. Suffice to say, I am nowhere near the top. So that's kind of the important part. I have 3 points out of 5, and I'm not really in the running for any prizes or anything. Chessbase, as a huge Fortnite streamer, just dropped 5,000 viewers on Gumroot. That's pretty cool. In your opinion, is Gumroot better than Alec? That's a tough question, I would think. Chigas is the chat hero with the link to the tournament standings. Good job, Chigas. And Chessbase says Gomru is better than Alec. Wow. And remind me, what is his connection with the chess community? Because I've seen him on being hosted places. Okay, next game. ImpMax says it's cool to be live with the hammer, as I used to just watch the YouTube videos. I'm very happy that my new policy of linking to my Twitch stream is paying off. It's gotten me a new viewer. Thank you, ImpMax. I'll have to be more careful with the details in the future. Clearly, it's paying off. Okay, so it's through Veldhaus, Chessbase? Okay, I'm gonna actually play this, which is funny, because this is what Lanier played against me many, 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 many times in the speed chess qualifier. And honestly, if it's good enough for Lanier, it's good enough for me against Mr. 1e4, 1-0, who doesn't even play 1e4. How can you have a username indicating that e4 is the best move and then not play e4? That makes no sense. Spraggy, the poker streamer. Okay, but Spraggy has been hosted by Lawrence, but maybe that has happened after that. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Also interesting. What am I gonna play next? Actually, Queen D5 is pretty. It's not the most advanced plan, but it might be effective anyhow. Or I could just play H6. This is how I lose chess games. Spending a minute on a completely irrelevant opening position. Take the pawn, it's not a trap, I promise, says Backsipin. Yeah, no dice. H4 is a ridiculous move. I mean, this guy does not have a very high opinion of me. What is he doing? H4. I might actually lose a pawn. But if he takes with the rook, I'm hoping to have some kind of counterplay. Actually, if he takes with the rook, I'm going to have bishop b5, preventing him from castling. And if he takes with the bishop, there's just going to be trouble coming his way. Okay, he's taken with the rook. He's a very brave guy. Very brave guy. I guess I'm going to go here. And look at that king. Maybe I could play more aggressively than this queen move. But I feel like I'm just gonna get back some material, get the A pawn, and have a pleasant edge in an endgame, which is basically what you're hoping to get when you play the semi-Tarrasch. Okay, A4. Once again, I can just take it. But on the other hand, if he's so frustrated about my pawn in this diagonal, my bishop in this diagonal, then I might as well just move it. Because I actually want the yeah, let's just take it. Let's let the poor guy castle, and let's start attacking other things in his position. I would like to exchange queens. Okay, that's kind of a weird move. You're really enticing me to just push my pawn. And honestly, I was happy to do that even before you gave me the incentive to do so. Ah, he's threatening this move. But I have knight takes d4 as a clever little tactic. I can win this endgame, I'm pretty sure. And now the punishment for playing h4. You get a lousy rook ending with a pawn down. Honestly, I think I'm just winning. I'm gonna get my king up here. This pawn is in an extreme amount of trouble. This pawn is in so much trouble. Did I make a mistake? Maybe. I don't know. Should I have prevented him from playing g4? Could I have prevented him? I don't think so. Nah, this is just winning. Huh? I don't know. Maybe it's not winning. But I'm making progress, if nothing else. And now threatening this. So maybe he needs to go rook a3. He didn't, and now it's game over. Not that he's resigning. I mean, why would you resign? It's only the hammer. No one is afraid of the hammer. Am I going to do this? No. Let's just do it as painless as possible. I don't know if this is as painless as possible, but it's definitely a way of getting the job done. I really think I can avoid giving stalemate. And it's a win! I should play this opening the entire time. It's a brilliant opening for Blitz. And that was demonstrated to me by Mr. Lenier Dominguez. Let's get a shout out for Dominguez. ChessBay is trying to schedule a poker streamer together with a chess streamer for half a chess lesson and half a poker lesson. That's interesting. I'm guessing Lawrence would be very interested in that. Oh, but maybe Lawrence is too good at poker? I'm terrible at poker, so that might actually work with me. Magnus Beef is also new to the live streams, but he usually has my YouTube videos while studying at university. That doesn't sound great. Having my voice in your head while trying to study doesn't seem like the greatest combination. H4 prepares the rook lift on the king side, says Jumpin' Jackson. Yeah, sure. I understand the idea, but you see the consequence. I managed to get that H-pawn and use it to win the game. ChessBay is such a marketing genius. I'm picking a girl chess streamer for chemistry and front page hype. Well, you could have picked a girl poker streamer. I'm just, throwing it out there. Okay, so we have played, I think this was round number 6, and there's still 4 more rounds to go. I'm feeling better because the last 2 games I played decently and got myself 2 wins in a row. So maybe actually, you know what? I'm going to continue with the Dominguez openings. This was such a successful game. I think I'm going to keep going with Lenier's Blitz repertoire. Hove asks, Hammer, is football coming home? And the answer to that is No. Even though they did win on penalties for the first time. Honestly, they also almost lost on penalties because Colombia was 1 up and then missed 2 in a row. It seemed like a repeat performance for the Brits, but they got there in the end. Please do a football and beer stream. Well, I can already tell you that's not gonna happen. I don't really drink a lot of beer. Penguin is actually in shared first place. Wow. And so is Conrad Holt. The American kids just beating up in Internet Blitz. I don't know. I don't understand that. I don't understand how I can be so bad at Internet Blitz while being so much higher rated than most of these guys. I mean, in classical chess, I'm going to be one of the top 5 or 10 seeds in this field, I think. But in Blitz chess, I have no chance. Oh yeah, I'm playing Dominguez openings. I barely remembered in time. Dominguez playing incredibly boring with e3. Do you think he does that against the Grunfeld as well? Maybe. We're going to give it a try. D6, maybe I'm just going to play e4. C5, maybe I should just take this one. Knight a6. Yeah, I'm regretting my decision to take that one. Okay, I can live with this. B3, then maybe knight d5 is annoying. But knight d5, I do have knight d4. Then e5, and things are just too complicated for me. I'm not going to go into that. Let's just play a3, and I'm basically playing a black opening with the white pieces. I'm not sure how thrilled I should be about this. Who do you think is the best after you and Magnus in Norway? Among the Norwegians? Well, Tari. The thing about chess is that you can pretty much just look at the rating list, and it's going to give you a reasonably accurate description of the level of play and their current strength. Bishop e6 was not a good move. It feels to me like that's a terrible move. Maybe knight d4, maybe h3. Well, now definitely knight d4, seeing as how this square has been weakened. And then another knight, trying to exploit this guy, this square. Huh. Actually, it's not so easy to defend this pawn. It's kind of weird, but okay, I'm gonna play this. But it looks really silly. Okay, it looked really silly to me, but he didn't even take on d5, which makes no sense to me. And now I'm going to protect this guy without too much of a hassle. Although maybe he has queen b6. Huh. Yeah, I don't actually know what to do on queen b6. Maybe I can just take this pawn. That's one way of doing things. Okay, he goes for it. I guess I'm just gonna take this and see what happens, because I couldn't find a good response otherwise. Okay, he's inviting me to play knight b3. Black's play has been very, very strange to me. I feel like Black played this suboptimally. I think it's the polite way of putting it. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play something kind of unusual, but it's just to get control over this c5 square. And then now he should take, and then play knight b8. Knight b8 is going to be a very clever move. And yeah, I'm not sure what to do. I might be worse even. Knight b8. e5 instead. Interesting. But not very good, I think. Let's take... Or should I... You know what? I'm going to go bishop d5 first. And then I'm going to take next move. No, wait. Now I allowed knight c7. Never mind. Let's just play quickly. When push comes to shove, playing quickly is always the best strategy. Yeah, he has king f8. Ah. Yeah, it's just going to be a draw. Wow, big mistake. Taking with the pawn. Either it's a big mistake or he's playing for a win. And either way, it's a bad move. Because I don't feel like you should be playing for a win here. Wow. h6. How about that move? Did you see that move? Actually, that was not a good move. Huh. Okay, the guy is making this very interesting. I'll give him that. I don't have any moves. Ah, the check! I was supposed to give the check. Not that it helps a lot. I managed to lose. How did that happen? What a guy. And that was just bad. And that was just bad. What a guy. Winning that like a hero. Honestly, I thought I was better. I don't know. I thought b takes a6 was a mistake. I thought this position is better for me. I thought he should take with the rook, and it's just a draw. And then he took with the pawn. And his knight is stronger than my bishop, because it's covering the rook's entry points. And my bishop is kind of doing one thing, but nothing other than that one thing. So the knight kind of is doing more in more directions. But I still thought I was better. No, I gotta be better here, right? Oh, I struggle. I don't understand chess. Maybe just f4? f4? I should be a little better. I think this g4 move was pretty clever. I was very happy with that, because I think if he plays like f5 and gets his king to f6, then I mean he's activating all his pieces and stuff. So by playing g4, I'm preventing him from playing f5. And then I'll play g5, putting my pawn on a dark square, kind of putting his pawns on the same square as my bishop. So far so good. Then h4. h3, h6 was a very good move. Because he's fighting for control over the dark squares. I guess maybe I should just take and walk with my king. But then I'm definitely not better. I'm probably not worse, but I'm definitely not better. And this was just trying to be fancy, giving myself a passed pawn. But here he takes with the f pawn, which is clever, because it gives him the f6 square, where he can both attack the pawn and kind of protect against the pawn going further down the board. I got outplayed. I think that is the simple explanation there. Okay, this is boring. Incredibly boring. I mean, if you're gonna play a boring opening, you should at the very least know that you're not supposed to allow knight e4, right? Are you just gonna take and play? Really? Okay, let's see. Hikaru doesn't always have a plan. Come on. Okay, I guess I'm gonna try to keep some pieces on the board. D6 is often considered the optimal square in these structures. And actually, this is something you can keep in mind, that having the pawn ahead of your knight is often a very nice combination, because they're kind of both contributing to attacking the same squares. And these are good, important central squares. And very often when you play, you will notice that having a pawn ahead of a knight is often a strategy you're looking forward to using. Plays the Queen's Gambit declined, then complains about boring positions, says the mechanic. Yeah, that's how the Norwegians roll. We play boring stuff and then we complain our opponents are boring. Ooh. There's not really much going on here, but I think I'm a little bit better. Let's go down here. Just saying hi to the white pieces. Actually, this may have been a mistake because I'm cutting off my own queen from the king's side. Okay, I provoked something. Maybe we can build on this. H4, we do remember how that went the last time. I did manage to win the pawn in the end. Okay, now we're gonna do this. Well, actually, maybe he can take. And then we do A4. Really? Is this still just okay for white? I don't understand chess. Okay, so I'm gonna have my queen stuck here for a moment. And then do other things. Like attacking this one. I need to get my knight into a better position. How about this one? If I could get my knight to b4, that would be a big success. This is a pretty risky move, playing b4. Maybe my pawn is in as much trouble as my opponent's. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, but now I'm covering this pawn. Yeah, but now knight is coming here. So I should go rook a7, I guess. Oh no, actually my rook is getting trapped. Wow. Knight e5 would have just trapped my rook. That would have been unfortunate. Oh, he's just going for the trade. Now, I mean, at this point, he genuinely is just extremely boring, I think. He's just going for the trade on c3. Boring. Actually, he's better. He got b5. Wow, I'm actually worse. Never mind boring. I actually have to defend. And I'm pretty low on time. Wow. Oh, actually, I just blundered this pawn. What is going on? Wow, I just blundered that pawn. That's a pawn down for me. Okay, he should have taken and played g4. So now he made a little mistake, which allowed me to play g4. Yeah, no, I mean, this kind of pawn structure is supposed to be incredibly innocent. Ooh, actually, I just made it myself. That was very clever of him. That was very clever. Yeah, now he's happy to make a draw. uh, yeah, no, I mean, these kinds of pawn structures where you just play for the minority attack, I mean, here I was pretty confident I was better. Because, I mean, I stopped any whiff of him ever managing to play b4. And he needs to play b5 to kind of create weaknesses on my queen side. And then fast forward 20 moves, and he manages to play b5. And here I'm actually in a ton of trouble, because I'm trying to defend this pawn and this pawn at the same time. And if I take this one, then, you know, then I got this pawn to worry about, and this guy. It's just so many pawns in trouble. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess maybe a3 was a mistake. Maybe I needed to maneuver the knight. Maybe I should get this knight to d6 as soon as possible. I'm not even sure what I did wrong. Yeah, no, but I guess it's losing control over this b4 square. And that kind of starts with a4. Because now it's gonna be an option for him getting to kind of take control over the b file. Okay, interesting. Over pushing in these structures is so common, which is why playing it as the weaker player can be pretty effective. It's not very ambitious, but it's very easy to play. I don't know. Let's look at the last game of this round. Ooh, it's our Austrian friend. Our Austrian friend has a winning position against the chessman, Dan. Ah, his name is probably Dan. Now you gotta watch out for the stalemate ideas. That's a pretty solid move. Just moving the king away to make sure that there's absolutely no stalemate ideas. And then g6, that's going to do the trick, followed by rook c7. And then give this check, and the knight to e7. Ooh, or, you know, the guy does a self-mate. That's one way of getting to the next game. Okay, there were some requests in chat about e4. I actually did play e4 one of the earlier games, and I suddenly remembered that I promised myself to play Lenier's passive but solid wide openings. So I'm going to try this out. I guess I'm going to play c4. And now we're having actually a very exciting position pretty early on. Actually, maybe I messed up the move order. No, wait, I'm supposed to take this guy. Yeah, that's it. I'm supposed to take this guy. And then knight e5. And then what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think Kramnik won a nice game against Topalov in this. But whenever I get the isolated queen's pawn, I'm just so nervous that I'm going to lose the game on account of my, you know, just losing the pawn at some point. Maybe if g6, should I consider queen f3? Queen f3, is that going to be a good move? I don't know. I'm going to do what was my original intention, queen h3. Tankan with a 3-month resub. Thank you. Hi, Hammer. I'm a fan. He says, with a couple of Sultan of King emotes. That's pretty good. Thank you for your support, my fan, Tankam. So my plan is basically just to play bishop h6. And that is the extent of my calculations. And as a matter of fact, that is what my opponent was concerned about. And he plays bishop g5. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna try this move, which looks weird, but I think maybe there's a slightly better endgame somewhere. I feel like some combination of queen f3 and bishop e4, then just giving away this bishop is gonna give me an advantage. But on the other hand, maybe he's just gonna play rook c8. In which case, I have nothing! Yeah, I'm not playing great. I guess maybe I'm a little bit better. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a little bit better. It's actually a symmetrical position in which I'm worse. Incredible. One minute advantage equals a win, says C-Spock. C-Spock? F5 good, no, asks Henning. Well, I was going to give away the bishop anyhow, so I don't think you should play F5, weakening your king position. Yeah, actually, yeah, I might win on time. It's not going to be my proudest victory, but he is taking a very significant amount of that time, that is. Let's try to play h5. Denied. Let's try to play something else. Check to your king. Yeah, I'm actually worse. Should I be concerned about losing this? I am pretty good at losing positions. Yeah, I'm actually much worse. This rook on the c-file is so useless. Let's go here. And queen e7, I have no idea what I'm going to do. Yeah, no, I'm just in huge trouble. Queen e7. Okay, I'm trying to bail out for a draw. Okay, now I'm trying to swindle. And the guy's very low on time. If I were him, I would be pretty uncomfortable about now. I'm close to getting checkmated. He's close to getting checkmated. This is pretty entertaining. What next? I don't have a follow-up. No! Oh, 0.1 second. I'm panicking. Ooh, and he blundered. Wow, that was strange. Ooh, that was close. I almost lost that one. 0.1 seconds left on the clock. That means I was not in control. Sometimes I like to think I am in control, even when I get low on time. But 0.1, that means you do not have things under control. Yeah, so what happened? Did I have a checkmate? I guess is the big question. I'm not sure. I mean, the king on f5 is not the safest king, but... And this is where I almost lost on time, because I suddenly realized he's trying to go king g7, after which I have no attack. So I needed to go back. And then he went back quickly, and then I just panicked making this silly move. I should, at the very least, I should make a move that protects this pawn. Maybe something like, actually queen g7, then just f6. And he's going into a better rook ending because of his active king. I mean, in that case, the active king is actually helping him. So f3 is what I was considering. And then probably rook takes d4, and then you threaten queen e2. And then I need to go king h3. Yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm even close to checkmating. So I think my conclusion is I got lucky. I got very lucky that game. Actually, here I have queen g5. Queen g5, but he goes king g7. Takes, takes. If I go after this pawn, then he counters. Oh. It's not going well, Aquila, but I have gotten a couple of undeserved wins, which is something, at the very least. I have more points than I deserve, but it's still just 5.5 out of 9. So in terms of standings, I'm way, way, way behind everyone else. 45th place. How do I only have 5.5? Which games did I lose? I thought I only lost one game. Ugh. Never mind. This queen h7 was actually a very good move. It confused him. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Queen h7, I mean, he just took my pawn, and then I went back. The only good thing about that move was that when repeating position for the third time, he actually, I mean, he has just been going back and forth. I went back and forth, but he took one of my pawns. So it's not a draw by repetition. That is the only slightly positive thing I can think of. Good evening, Axe Villager. How are you? I saw the clip you made with the my off day. It was pretty good. I sent you a message about chess.com membership. I want to play well for one game. Just one game. So there's one final game remaining. And for that final game, I want to play some good chess. That's my goal. I'm going to call this a draw. Just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Actually, now you can even go bishop f1, because black has made a bit of a mess. Back and forth, back to f1, and there's no way the king gets further. And these are pretty strong players, so they realize that, of course. Back and forth. There's a women's international master on 4th place. That sounds incredible. That sounds unlikely. There's a 2300 among all the 2800s. But she has very, very poor tie breaks. So maybe she has had some, maybe she lost her first game and then made a draw and has had some kind of a Swiss gambit comeback. That could have happened. Why are we not starting the next game? There's still stuff going on. There's a queen ending on move 135. Wow. That is quite a few moves. And white wins on time. That was unexpected. Okay, I'm gonna play a good game. Let's go for e4 for once. As requested in the chat, we're gonna get an e4 game. And every time I play e4, I hope my opponent doesn't play c5, because I don't really know about the Sicilian. However, I know quite a bit about the Spanish opening. Let's play some Spanish main lines. No. Flawless is not interested in main lines. That's fine. Let's go here. And now we are going to demonstrate that a bishop pair is not necessarily better than, well, than something. So I'm giving the guy the bishop pair, but I'm hoping that I get the pawn structure I'm looking for. Yeah. That was actually bad, because now if e5, then he can just take this guy. This is pretty early to be misplaying everything. And yet, I do not like my position. I actually hate my position, because I gave my opponent the bishop pair. Typical. Just one nice game to finish. That's all I wanted. But no. Yeah, I seriously hate my position. Okay, let's try to make the best of it. Having to play knight d2 to protect this e4 pawn is pretty depressing. Knight b6, that was not a good move. He could have played knight e5, but instead he chooses knight b6. And honestly, that feels like just putting the knight on a bad square. Let's put a rook into the center. Queen to g3. Sure, why not? I'm looking forward to playing b3 and then maybe... Yeah, maybe I don't have a good follow-up. Other moves I can play? Bishop g5, maybe? My knights are just still so bad. So bad. Maybe e4. E5 is good. E5 is very good. Where's my pessimism? E5 is very, very good. Suddenly I'm getting squares for my knights. This is fantastic. So the question is, what happens on knight c4? Should I... Yeah, I should take with knight. And then the question is knight c4. What happens? Maybe I can just go knight f6. Try to give checkmate on the dark squares. Maybe. Okay, I was not expecting that move. What happens if I take this one? Is this not a free pawn? What are you planning? Queen b4? I do not understand what's going on. So b3, queen b4. Looks good to me. c3. Looks good to me. There's no way to defend the pawn on d6 except moving the pawn on d6. That I really should have seen coming. That is so poor. That is actually terrible play. I thought, well, there's no way he can defend this pawn, but he could just move it. Okay. We'll have to try to win the game all over. That was a... Now I'm actually concerned about my knight on d6. Because I don't see how that one is getting back out. That's not great. Yeah, if knight takes d6, then I thought he's going to exchange and take my pawn on b2. And the thing about when his queen takes the pawn on b2 is that he also threatens both these two pawns. So it's a bit of a hassle. Okay, once again, I have a winning position. This knight is terrible, terrible on b6. Okay, so I'm gonna win this pawn. Actually, now I'm gonna win this pawn as well. Let's just keep it simple. Okay, that was not keeping it simple. Okay, this should be winning. My pawn on g4 is actually doing a good job. Because whenever he tries to advance his pawns, I'm gonna break up his pawn structure. No problemo for hammer. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm playing very accurately, but everything wins here, so it doesn't really matter. Actually, let's go here. Let's go here. And here. And it's time to just take the rest of the pawns. No hassle. Unless I'm trying to be a hero. I am trying to be a hero, but it's okay. Because I calculated it. That was an extremely unnecessary way of winning this. But nonetheless, it is a way of winning this. And my opponent resigns. So honestly very average appearance in the Title Tuesday tournament. I'm gonna finish about my own rating, which is 40th place in the standings. Not very good, but not horrible either. I had one pretty good game I'm happy with. The black game in the semi-Tarash. That I thought was pretty good. We did see the soccer game, and honestly, I'm faulting one of my losses on the fact that England went to penalties instead of deciding the match in normal time. Make sure to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Oslo time. That's 2:30 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna have a Royal Arena Kings. It's a Blitz Arena King with extra prizes and extra points. If I had been clever, I would have prepared the overall standings in the Arena King because I have made some progress there, advancing to 4th place overall thanks to my 2nd place yesterday. So do come back tomorrow for the Royal Arena Kings. I'm going to be playing some Fortnite, so I'm hosting Alec up next. And yeah, Norwegian Championship starts on Friday. So if you're not going to make it tomorrow, this is a good time to say, you know, go hammer, have some hammer time emotes, stuff like that. See you tomorrow, everyone.